Well, it's good to be back. Good to be started. There were plenty of positive things that happened in the exhibition game individually and as a group. Some things to build on. There were more things that happened that we have to work really, really hard at here in the next week to keep making some progress. With that, I would open it up for some questions.
What are some of those things that you feel like you need to work on coming off that first game?
How much time do you have? You know, we're doing things at a better pace than we were at this time a year ago. Guys they're bigger, they're stronger, they're more confident. You know, those are the kinds of things. If you're going to have, you know, for us, if we're going to have a very good season, you have to be able to start there, and that part of it I like. We just, you know, we made a lot of real basic mistakes. Some of the things we're working at in practice, whether it's guarding the basketball, blocking out, where we're supposed to run to with some offensive stuff, and some of the things we've been working at for a little while now, and they need to get better, and they need to get better fast. So we do. We've got a lot of work to do this week, and a lot of things to get done. And as we're doing that, we need to continue to improve our competitiveness and make sure we've got the mentality that it's going to take to be a really good basketball team.
So, Jake, what do you like about Matt Bohannon so far, and what do you think he might be able to contribute for you this year?
Well, he's got a really good feel for how to play, and because of that, you know, he's in the right places defensively. He does the right things on offense, and then he shoots the ball very, very well from the three-point line. And he's also a guy that spends a tremendous amount of time on his game. He really cares about being good. He's highly motivated to be good. And those are things that are paying off for him already. But you know, you think long-term, those are the kinds of things that are going to make him an even better player and allow him to have a real impact on our program because he really cares and he spends a lot of time at it. And, so he's got a bright future. Now there's some things, you know, they showed up in the game on Saturday. You know, there's some things that he's got to get better at, but he's in every day watching it and he's working to make some improvements. At
this point, do you see him staying in the starting lineup, or might that change when you're back at full strength?
He'll be in the starting lineup on Sunday. That's as far out as I'm going. But he'll be in the starting lineup on Sunday, yep.
Those things you said you need to work on, seem like you're giving yourself plenty of time with a week between the 2 exhibition games and another 6 days before your opener.
Yeah, and then if I could get another 6 days after that, I'd take it. As I said, I like the, you know, physically we're better. It's a confident group, and they should be because they've worked really hard. We've got to make sure that every day we take advantage of the opportunity to get better, and a lot of those things are real basic at both ends of the floor, and then just keep working on the mentality and the competitiveness that it takes to, you know, for us to be able to be better on Sunday.
Outside of Nate Buss leading you with 18 points, what else did he do that you like besides the scoring part of it?
Yeah, his rotations defensively are much improved. His activity level at the defensive end is probably where that starts. He's moving better. He's got a better understanding of it right now. He also knows that in order for our team and for him to have an impact on our team, he has to defend at a very high level. And I think he, you know, has grown to understand that over the course of some time. But he was showing on the ball screen. He was making rotations. He took a charge late in the game. You know, the kinds of things that have to happen if we're going to have a strong defensive unit. He was doing them individually and making sure that he was a part of what was taking place as a group at that end of the floor. And so that was encouraging.
In the game, you only took 12 three-point shots. Is there a new philosophy on how many threes you're going to take, or was that just the game kind of dictated you need to put up threes?
No, you know, our philosophy in terms of how we're going to play offensively has not changed. the area of our offense that has needed some changing is how much pressure we put on the defense inside of 10 feet. You know, that area needs to be better than what it's been the last 2 seasons. And some of that is a product of who you've got available and what your team looks like. But we have not in any way changed. I don't talk any different with our basketball team right now in terms of, you know, when we shoot a three-point shot or when we might not shoot one. Our conversations are the same. We're going to play very aggressive offensively. We'll shoot a three-point shot, you know, 5 seconds into the shot clock. We'll shoot it in transition. So that part hasn't changed. What we have worked at and showed up a little bit on Saturday. The ball got passed into the post more times on Saturday than what we've seen the past 2 years, and that needs to be an area for us that can be a strength of our offense, and it hasn't necessarily been a strength. We've had some other ones offensively, but that hasn't necessarily been a strength of our team the last 2 years, and we need to work hard at that.
Is that McDougal kid a walk-on?
Yeah, Matt is a non-scholarship player from Cedar Rapids Prairie, and fun kid to be around. Works really hard, and nice to see him get some minutes, and nice to see him, you know, play well.
Will he redshirt this year?
Yeah, our plan is to redshirt Matt, and I don't see that changing at all. Yeah.
Chris Olivier played his first basketball in a couple of years now after redshirting. What'd you see out of Olivier in the post play that he was involved in?
You know, he was better defensively than what he's been at times in practice. Certainly made a lot of strides defensively over the course of this past year and now leading into our season. You know, the obvious part, what you see is when he catches the ball on the block, he can score. You know, he's got a good feel, and he's big enough and strong enough. He's long enough to be able to get baskets. Same at the defensive end, and when it comes to rebounding, he can go and block a shot, and he can go and get a rebound. But he's got more improvement to do at the defensive end, and that's normal. You know, that for a guy at his age and at that position. You know, some of the rotations and showing on ball screens and doing all of the things that need to be done for our group to be a real strong unit defensively. You know, that's fairly typical of what we saw. So he did some good things defensively. He also had some times where you know, he's got more improvement to make there.
Might as well start this with your first one. The free throw shooting wasn't great on Saturday. Is that a concern at all after one exhibition game? I had to get it started.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you did. I had forgotten, Gary, that we have this conversation every year. Does anyone want to answer that for me? Some of you that are here every year and hear my same answer every year. Yeah, I won't be addressing that. That's the one thing that happened on Saturday that won't get talked about. Yeah. Anybody else? Thank you.